Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I'm Dave.
I'm Katie.
And you are listening to the TV is Our Real Mom podcast. And in this episode, we will be discussing Big Brother Season 19, Week 2.
Week 2.
Yes. And Katie, what's going on in the house?
Well,
wait, we should probably quick
oh,
say that spoilers.
Yeah, live feeds, all that stuff.
Live
if you
feed
don't
discussion.
want to know.
Live feed discussion on this podcast. So if you don't want to know what's going on,
remove yourself from this situation.
Yes. Okay, Katie, what's going on in the house?
Well, it's basically the Paul show.
Right.
If it wasn't before, it kind of was before, right? So Paul is the HOH. He also likes to go around telling all the newbies how to play the game and what to do and why they should listen to him and how amazing he is. And I like Paul. I liked Paul a lot last year, but you got to remember he was the underdog most of the time. This whole vet-splaining stuff is a little much, but at the same time, it's like he's playing well. You can't say that he's not. So it's like this weird combination of someone who's got all the power and is seemingly, his game to lose in week 2. But also admiring that he's doing well. I don't know. It's weird. How do you feel about Paul?
I've only seen him for like a second. I don't even know if I've heard him talk. I think
wow, that's a miracle because he never stops talking.
Right. I think the most I heard him talk was I caught part of an episode, and it was the eviction episode for Jillian. Is that right?
Yeah, that was awesome. You don't get first week evictions like that. You usually get a unanimous vote. It's super boring. You get rid of some floater type person who no one cares about, which you did this week, but the vote did not go the way the HOH wanted it to go. Like he was shocked, his whole team was shocked, and the house just blew up because of it. And we've been dealing with the fallout from that ever since last Thursday. It's settled down now, but...
So does that mean like the people in the house are like having a power struggle? Like they're like,
well,
when a vote is somewhat split like that, it means that people are actually playing the game early on, is what you're saying? Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But here in week 2, you tend to have more of your typical early eviction. But Cody was planning to backdoor Paul, and that's why Paul went into this extreme game hard, never shut up mode. And I don't know if he's ever going to get out of it. Like, he's made himself into, you would think, a massive target this week by basically dictating to the house what's going to happen. But if he is able to fade into the background after this week, which is really hard when you're a motor mouth, tattooed, bearded, crazy man, but it's what he needs to do because he has another week of safety. So after this week, he should just kind of like slip into the background, like Homer Simpson in that meme where he goes into the bushes. Or that,
Or that SNL thing where they like retreat into their clothes, like their heads.
Yeah, he needs to do that and let these other guys, rip each other apart. But now everybody's on the Paul train. Like even the people that are supposedly on the outside, like Alex and Josh and Jason, are all on the surface up on Paul's team now. So like, who isn't on Paul's team? There's like 2 people.
Are they really on Paul's team? Like they all want to work with him?
It's really weird. You know what it reminds me of? And I don't want to compare Paul to Boston Rob by any means. But in Redemption Island, Boston Rob had people just eating out of his hands, doing anything he said because he was Boston Rob. And Paul's team, which is basically, he's got 2 showmances, which barf on his team. And then Dominique is on his side. And I don't know. He's got more than that, but that's like the core, and Christmas. So that's like the core group. And they're all just like awed by Paul and like in love with him. Like even Matt and Raven, who he was going to put up as pawns, were like totally willing to do it. And I'm like, no, that is not something you volunteer to do ever.
Maybe it's just, don't you think it's just because it's so early in the game that they're just not worried about it? They know that Cody is such an easy, he's gone no matter what, basically. Yeah. That like just go along with Paul for now. It's early game, and it's gonna fall apart for him pretty soon, anyways, right? Don't you think?
That would be the common knowledge, but he's.
It seems like they authentically like him.
Yes,
and want to do enough to do what he wants them to do.
And this is what happened last season. Like there was a time. I mean, Paul was friends at some point with everyone when he needed to be. And like there was this really ugly fight between him and Nicole, who ended up winning the season. But by the final 5, final 6, Victor, Paul, and Nicole and Corey were like best friends. So like he has this ability to like just completely lay you out and then become your best friend again. Like earlier today, he and Cody were laughing together. And I don't know how he does it, but he has this weird charm that he like beats you over the head with. I don't know. He's got a weird thing, and everybody's saying, yep, Paul's going to be gone as soon as the safety's up. And I'm like, I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Wow. Okay. That's a hot take.
And he has people everywhere. Now he's got Alex, who's, on the surface kind of with him. He's got this secret thing going on with Kevin, which Kevin is going along with. I don't know how into it he is, but he's got all these things, and Josh is like willing to go to bat for Paul. Like he's got so much going for him that, I mean, it's hard to believe people won't one day wake up and be like, but I mean, I just think he's playing that well. He needs to tone down. Well, he needs to tone down everything, but he mostly needs to tone down the condescending, like, okay, like he thinks he's giving them advice, but I'm like, bro, you're not here as a coach, you're here as a player. What are you giving them advice for? Hopefully he's giving them bad advice. I guess I don't know for sure, but why would you give your enemy battle advice?
So that's what this bet-splaining thing is basically someone who's played the game before telling you how you should play the game, or what not to do, what to do. Okay.
Yeah. Because he's the only one there. He doesn't have other vets to rein him in. And as far as I know, and viewers correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the only time you've ever just had one vet in the house with all new people.
They've never done just one person?
Has Survivor even never done just one person? They've done 2, but I don't know that they've ever done just one.
That's a good point. Just one. Yeah, I can't think of that. Yeah, no.
He's literally the only one. So really the odds are stacked against him more than any returning player ever. On Big Brother anyway. So he's doing well. He's got the whole house like wanting to work with him. And if he does the right thing and chills out next week, which he was doing before the Cody thing happened, he might be okay for a while.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about like production set up Paul really well. Is there anything to that?
Well, we kind of talked about it last week. I don't disagree with it. He came in the house because of someone took this $25,000 bribe or twist or whatever, and they knew someone would take that. Out of 16 people, you really think one person's not going to push the button and take it? So they knew Paul would come into the house.
Was Kevin the only one who took it?
Kevin was the first one to hit it, and the first one gets it. No, like 7 people pushed the button. Kevin was the quickest.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
So Kevin got that $25,000, but he's blamed it on He blames everything on Ramses. Everybody does.
Yeah, I heard that. That's hilarious.
Kevin's good at this game so far. Like remains to be seen if it'll pay off, if it's sustainable. But anyway,
yeah, I've heard that he's the one who's like lying the most out of anybody is Kevin.
Yeah, they still think that Kevin voted to evict Christmas when he didn't. He voted to evict Jillian.
So there's still someone is out there trying to crunch the numbers, and they're like, I can't figure out who.
Well, they've said Ramses did it.
Oh, that's right. If they just assume it was Ramses.
Yeah, poor
then-
Ramses. I don't know what he did to get on these people's bad side, but he gets blamed for everything.
I
And mostly
suppose-
everything Kevin does.
Isn't he able to convince people that they're lies, that none of it's true, or he just sort of like he's like, well, it's not true, but if that's what you want to think.
Ramses or Kevin?
Ramses. Why doesn't
I
he
don't
defend
know what
himself?
I don't know what the deal is with Ramses. I feel kind of bad for him because he's such a fan and he's just completely, besides Cody and Jessica, like public enemy number 1 or 3, I guess. But yeah, Kevin's playing a really good social game. He's friends with everyone. Even Ramses, who he blames for stuff.
Yeah.
He like has a bond with him. So it's weird. I don't know if he can sustain it, but it's entertaining for right now. But Paul, as far as it being rigged for Paul, like Paul had the power as soon as he got picked to come into the house, or because of the bribe, he had to give 8 people friendship bracelets. So he was basically the Don for a day. Like he got to pick who was going to compete for elimination or to not be eliminated. And then the pendant of protection. Like obviously he was going to win that because he has a fan base and nobody else did. So yeah, I mean, things were stacked in his favor at the beginning, but it also was stuff that makes him a huge target at the beginning. And it remains to be seen if he can ride that wave the right way and not just out the door.
Well, how much can Paul actually like how much good does it actually do him to like retreat into the background next week or whatever? Like, first of all, how can he even do that? Second of all, in like for 1 week, if for 1 week he finds a way to sort of like remove himself from the foreground.
Well, not remove himself, but like this.
What? Yeah, what? What exactly?
This week he was all like, I have a plan. This is how it's going to work. He was very methodical. He, unlike Cody, he brought his whole group in, talked about things with them, let them feel like they were part of it, but was also very much in charge. This time people need to go to him for advice if they want advice, you know?
Right. So how does he do that?
He just hangs out and is friendly, crazy Paul.
And nobody notices that he's changed or that something's different?
He's not going to change. He just won't be in a position of power, so won't act like he's in a... This is my theory, or what I hope he does.
So if you can't be HOH twice in a row, right?
No, once you're HOH, you have to sit out of the following HOH competition because you can't get it 2 weeks in a row.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that's one of the most appealing things about Big Brother is power can shift from week to week. Whereas in Survivor, you have to hope someone flips.
Right. It's all up to someone like basically sabotaging their own game for the entertainment of everyone else.
Right. Or Sarah Lucina, who did it flawlessly and was rewarded for it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But yeah, so being that he's not HOH next week means that he could lay back in a sense, and it would make sense why he's laying back because they're like, oh, he's not HOH this week.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to act like a leader. He can just sort of hang out.
But if someone from his team gets HOH, they will go to him for advice, and he will be present in the HOH room for discussions. Make no mistake, but he just needs to not be the one being like, this is the plan. This is what we're doing. Blah, blah, blah. Although
the more he calls the shots, you feel like he'll be a target early on then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there will be resistance eventually. Because that's a thing in Survivor too, is like, you don't always throw out a name. You let people in your group throw out a name, and if you have to go along with it, you go along with it.
Well, it's different in Big Brother then?
No, I feel like that is similar. Like you don't want to be the one being like, they need to go. You want to make that decision sometimes, and then sometimes step back and be like, okay, they want this person out, so that's what we'll do.
Okay, so Paul lays back, then he's not safe anymore. But hopefully laying back for 1 week makes him not as on people's radar.
It's not going to mean he's not on their
It's
radar, but he's in a good position with so many people in the house that I think he'll be fine.
Is everyone aware of his immunity, like for
Yeah.
the next? So
Yeah.
everyone knows how long he's immune and he's not a target.
Yeah.
You think
He
that's
has one
part of
more
the
week.
reason everyone's willing to work with him right now? Then is because they're like, well, I can't get rid of him, so I should probably
No,
just
because they were
stick
up
with
his
him.
ass before they knew about that.
Oh, they were okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep. I'm telling you,
I was curious.
he's got a social game like very few players I've seen before.
Huh, that's cool.
And I haven't seen all the players, keep that in mind. But it's very good.
So is Cody Dunsky then? Is he he's the
Victim
guy?
of this
Yeah,
week. Yeah, he's done.
he's done. Okay, it's a sure thing. What do we know?
The veto
What's
happened.
the latest on feeds and stuff? What's going on?
Paul won the veto on Saturday. He used it to take Josh and Alex were on the block. Okay, they're both pawns. He decided not to put up pawns from his actual alliance because then you lose 2 numbers potentially for voting. So he put up Alex and Josh, who they all believe they're working together. I don't know how sincere Alex is about it. I think she is in the short term sincere about working with Paul and vice versa. But anyway, Paul won the veto. He used it on Josh. So Josh came off the block. Cody went up in his place. And Cody is going home on Thursday, unless something insane happens. Oh, but also Ramses is on the block as well because he had to use his curse.
And yeah, let's talk about that. Do you think that was the right move for him to use it right now?
Absolutely, because
everybody wants Cody gone.
Everybody's going to vote out Cody. But now everybody wants him out anyway, so unless he wins HOH next week, he could be going home anyway. But there was this whole thing how Paul wanted Ramses to throw the veto, and Ramses didn't want to throw the veto because he didn't want to go home. So, but then they found out how good his time was because it was one of those timed competitions, I guess.
How did they find out how good his time was?
Because they reveal the scores. Like in all these timed competitions, the host always reveals the times. Right. So everybody knew. And then Paul just went on this tirade about how dare Ramses fight for his life to not get voted out. Like why should he trust you? I mean, Paul was being honest with him. He did want to get Cody out, but still, like, why would he trust Paul?
Yeah, that's too bad. It sounds like Ramses' game is over before it even started.
I know, I'm really bummed. I was excited to he seems like a fun character, and we never hear about him except for when people are complaining about him.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's going to be able to come back from that. I'd be impressed if he pulled that off.
I'm really concerned because everyone's talking about this battle back now, and I'm like,
oh yeah, because Cody, I mean, is the obvious guy to win the battle back, right?
Yeah, if it's an endurance or a actual physical thing, there's no chance. No one has a chance against him.
Is that usually the type of thing they do with battle backs? Is like physical challenge, or does it vary?
Last year it was pretty physical, and Victor won his way back in because he's a good physical guy. But there was one year when Nicole won her way back in that it was just like a shuffleboard thing. So my hope is that it's like a puzzle because I really want Cameron to come back in because he didn't get a fair shot. And I don't think I'm alone on that. Or maybe they'll have a fan vote. My thing is I believe it's going to be a temptation. Someone takes this temptation, you're letting someone else back in the house.
Okay.
That's why they haven't announced it. Because they don't know if someone will take the temptation, even though they always do. So if someone takes this temptation, the curse is going to be you are going to let an evicted player return to the house.
But you don't think it'll be a battle back at all?
Yeah, it'll be some type of battle back, I think.
Oh, I thought you meant temptation and Cameron gets to come back in or something like that.
I mean, it'll be a temptation and they'll have to determine out of the 4 people that have been evicted who gets to come back in. And I don't know how they'll do that.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, there's a Friday night.
They picked Cameron because he's like the obvious choice to come back. Like production picked Cameron, and then they're just gonna send him back in the same way Paul went back in, basically.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen. There's got to be some type of contest.
I just feel like Yeah, I suppose I was gonna say I don't see why they would want Cody back in the house, but
They would want him back in the
I
house.
suppose he brought enough of like weirdness and drama
He is
that
a weird, strange, unpleasant person.
yeah, I mean he brings enough of that like unique viewing experience for the viewers, that it's worth bringing him back in probably. So
Yeah.
production will probably make it a physical challenge in that sense.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I feel like maybe they should get rid of Jessica this week.
What? Oh yeah, so they can get Cameron back in. I mean,
So that's Cody doesn't win the battle back, but then you're still having Cody still in the house, So like
the only good scenario for the players in the game is that Jillian comes back in, because then they can just.
That's a terrible scenario for the viewers.
For the viewers, I'm saying about if you're a game player,
Yeah.
like you would want the shittiest person to come back in so you can vote them right back out.
That would definitely be Jillian.
What about
she was trash.
Cody though? I mean, like, bring Cody right back in. Isn't he going right back out?
Yeah, unless he wins HOH, which he would do but there's a lot of HOH comps that are like throw the ball, do the shuffleboard, answer the trivia. Like it's not always hold on for your life.
Yeah, it would be really stupid if every competition was like, yeah, like how strong are you? And it's
especially
like,
now that Christmas is super injured. Like I feel like they have to tailor some of the comps to be less physical. I don't know. I'm tired of the battle back thing. I'm over it. Like when you're out, you're out. That's how I feel about Redemption Island on Survivor too. Like when you're out, you're out.
Yeah, no one's ever come back and won anyways. I mean,
and if they did, wouldn't there be like an asterisk by their name?
I think there would be, because it's like, well, they got voted out, but they won. I mean, like then Survivor, I think it was Pearl Islands, the outcast thing where Lil came back in.
Yep.
Made the finals. Nobody voted for her.
Well, why would they when she was up against the queen?
Yeah, exactly. But so that's probably the closest anyone's gotten, I think, other than maybe Ozzy.
Ozzy came not that close. Victor got 5th place. Johnny Mac got 4th place. They go far sometimes, but so it's not usually a revolving door, but in my head, if Cody came back, he'd be right back out unless he did win the HOH. But I'm just wondering how long this temptation nonsense is going to go, because is it going to stop at jury? Is it going to go all season? Because I don't think that it should.
Should stop or keep going?
I feel like the temptation thing should stop. I feel like they should have it. It should be a lot of times the twists are only for the beginning of the season, or like the BB takeover in season 17, they just randomly stop. But I feel like they should have maybe 5 temptations and then stop it.
What do you suspect that maybe it's not going to stop?
I just don't know. I'm wondering, because last year they had care packages, but it didn't start till towards the end of the game. But if you're doing twists and you're getting down to like week 8, there's like only going to be a few people to vote for, and they're clearly the least popular people in the house because they haven't gotten one yet. So it seems dumb to even give them anything.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah, I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
So I heard that Paul got a letter from his mom, and there was like
that was nonsense.
Secret codes in there. Is that true?
No, I saw a tweet that was like, "Come on, Allison Grodner, if we can figure this out, obviously other people can." And it was Paul has talked last year. He talked all the time about all the pets he has. He has a ton of pets. He's obsessed with animals, and that's what they were talking about. It was literally about the pets. And anyone who thinks it was a code, like, tell me what that letter told him, because even if it was referring to contestants, what the hell did it tell him? I have no idea.
Exactly. It would have to be like some super genius code to like, because I heard bits and pieces of it, and it's like, yeah, if there's anything in there, like what information could be gleaned from this?
Unless it's like triple coded, that a code that they worked
like a
out.
Genius code, yeah.
It's not. No, it's not a thing. And
it's stupid.
For further evidence, Paul's plan did not change. Like, he still went after Cody. and that was it. Like, the letter told him nothing that made him alter his what he did.
So going after Cody, like Paul sort of choosing to do this, is that like sort of just an easy thing to do, is to go along with that what the house wants? Is that kind of what he's thinking here?
I think it's actually a convenient thing the house wants, but also Paul set it up when Cody attempted to backdoor him. Paul, after that happened, really played it up and played the victim and was acting so betrayed and stuff. So then everybody kind of turned on Cody because they were all betrayed as well. So it was like a combination of revenge and what the easy target that the house wants.
Okay. I've been hearing a lot about victim noises. What is a victim noise?
Well, if you want to hear victim noises, just listen to Cody because he makes them apparently all the time.
But what the hell is it? What the hell is it?
Cody is a psycho. Cody is the type of like guy who, thinks you have to be loyal and noble, but then he does something that is against that, but then pretends like he didn't, and that the people coming at him are the ones making him the victim. I don't know. I didn't explain that well. But anyway, victim noises are apparently like when a grown man cries, or when he says, wants people to feel sorry for them.
So wait, how did this coin get phrased, or this phrase get coined?
Well, he actually had it in his
How did the phrase get coined?
He had it in his preseason bio. He said, "What are your pet peeves?" And he said victim noises.
Oh.
And now so people were like latching onto that, and now he actually said it multiple times. And you know what's crazy?
Did he say it because of any sort of like feedback from the bio, or did he say it naturally?
Apparently it's something that's a staple in his life that he says all the time and doesn't like. But this is what happened after the vote came out. Okay, he goes up to Mark. You know who Mark is, right? Big, giant guy.
Yeah, I actually, one of the only like scenes I've seen is when Mark was talking to Christmas and he like cried on her shoulder.
He's a pretty big teddy bear.
He's a gentle giant.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But so Cody goes up to him after the vote, like shocked that he didn't vote with him. And he's like, "Which way did you vote?" And he was like, "I had to vote Jillian out for my game." And Cody was like, "Okay, I understand." He goes up to Josh, who was never with Cody, unlike Mark, who was. He was one of the last people to be with Cody and flip on him. Josh, Cody and Jessica never talked to, but he goes after Josh for betraying them. And because Josh is an easy target, Josh is going to break down. Josh is going to cry. And so to hear this guy saying, he doesn't like victim noises, but he buckles under the weight of this big man and then pushes around the weak guy, like, what kind of guy does that?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a natural instinct, I think, for dudes. They'll back down from the big guy, but they'll push around the little guy for sure.
Well, it doesn't come off well. And I know everybody out there is like, "Oh, I love having Cody on because it's so funny. It makes so much drama." But this dude sucks, and I don't want him on anymore.
Right.
I want him to leave.
Double-edged sword or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark. Yeah, didn't Mark say he said we didn't have the votes or something like that? That's how he explained himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
To Cody.
Yeah. And Cody was fine with that, but Josh's explanation.
So what's with the beef between Jessica and Christmas? Has that been squashed by now?
It actually has. I think they hugged earlier today, and they're supposedly fine with each other.
I thought I heard some talk too that Jessica is like in trouble. In trouble?
Like, is she gonna go home?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll go soon. She's one of the top targets for sure.
So they kind of see, Cody, and because they're a showmance, Cody and Jessica, they're a pair. Might as well knock out both of them. They don't need to just knock out one.
What she should have done after Cody did his thing was she should have hopped off that train. And, if she cares about her game, which she said she did before she came on the show, but she's just staying on that sinking ship right along with him. And I think Jessica isolated herself, but she doesn't know that she did that. You know what I mean? Because she thought she was sticking with Cody, but she shouldn't have been sticking with Cody. And so when Christmas called her and Cody out in her eviction speech, Jessica lost it because she thought that was uncalled for. But
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think you're gonna get rid of Cody. Why not keep Jessica as a number like for your side then? Like,
yeah.
it's like, look, so you were with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
You see what happens? He's gone now. So
You
why
see
don't
what
you
happens when you get your emotions all caught up in this nonsense.
but you tell her, you know what? Stick with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's gone. You don't have anybody, but stick with me. So I feel like
I think she
just get
could.
rid of one of them. Get rid of Cody and keep Jessica. Like, if you're a player, that's what you want, I think.
Yeah, today was a good sign, seeing that she was able to laugh and, talk with Christmas. There is hope. Like, if they're targeting Ramses, a week is enough time to build your, work your way in with a group. Like Alex is seemingly in now with everybody else. So, I mean, I don't really like her, but I could like her more if she would actually play the damn game.
Right.
And not just make victim noises.
Right. So my winner pick was Dominique. How's Dominique doing?
I think she's doing well. You don't hear a lot about her. I'm a little concerned about this. She's always talking to Mark about Elena. She's like, okay, Mark is like that guy that talks to his girl friends about girls, not aware that some of his girl friends have feelings for him. So he talks to Dominique about Elena like all the time. And I think Dominique is like annoyed by it and a little bit jealous. And Elena and Dominique need to get on the same page, and I don't know.
So you think Dominique has feelings for Mark?
I don't know if she has some type of feelings. I don't know if they're romantic anymore, but I don't know. I just think it's a weird triangle. That would be better if they would work together.
So Dominique maybe is having problems with the Mark Elena thing, and that's not good for her game, is what you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. But if she can rein that in, she's fine.
Yeah.
And she's still fine.
She's fine for now, but I'm just looking ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark is roped in with this bigger alliance, and she is not, then trouble. Okay. Your winner pick was Mark. So Mark's still looking good.
Oh, that's embarrassing. I don't know.
Well, you don't see it happening now?
I mean, maybe. I see him being one of those people that goes all the way. I'm just disgusted with the showmance thing. I want there to be none.
It seems like there's like a lot of them this season. Is this more than usual?
There's a lot of them. Yeah. Well, yeah, there's 3.
At least 3.
And then maybe you 4? Have the Paul and Christmas thing, which isn't a showmance, but you don't know.
What is Paul and Christmas?
Well, they're just like, BFFs.
And it's not romantic?
Not as far as I know, but
it's got to be going that way though, right?
I don't know. She's a lot older than him, but I don't know.
Just about everyone in the house single, or what?
It would seem so. Kevin is married.
Kevin's married.
Kevin is my favorite. I said that.
Yeah, I want Kevin to win just from what I'm hearing. Like, he sounds awesome.
He's playing better than I anticipated he would. The only thing I worry about is, will it have the effect of, like, when Don Meehan is so close with everyone, so when she betrays them, they're like really bitter about it. Like, will the same thing happen when they find out that Kevin really has screwed them? Will they be super forgiving?
Yeah, not? But was Dawn able to explain herself? Like,
no.
Maybe they didn't give her a chance. I can't remember, but I feel like she didn't
own it.
She didn't own it. She made the same kind of mistakes as Coach, only even worse, because I feel like she couldn't explain herself. She couldn't articulate. Coach could articulate it, but he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do what he needed to do. Anyways, though, yeah, I would like to think, from what I've heard of Kevin, that he would be able to articulate what he did and say, you guys should reward me.
He mumbles, but he's sharp as a tack. So I think, it's a long way off. But I don't know. I'm more hopeful for him than I would have thought.
Yeah, based on what I'm hearing, I'm rooting for him.
Maybe you should do yourself a favor and tune in once in a while.
I don't know. It's
See
just
Kevin in action.
it's a lot of time. I mean, I can
Pick
commit.
one episode a week.
Well, I can maybe commit to one every 2 weeks or something. But
Why?
Just because one a week is even more than I like. I don't know. I don't want to rip on the show too much because I mean, there's people watching this who like the show a lot.
Well, how can you rip on it when you've never watched it?
I have watched it. I've watched it.
Yeah, but you haven't watched it this season.
I've watched a little bit of it.
Have you though?
Part of an episode, yeah. Anyways, that's besides the point. It's
beside the point.
I'm besides myself.
You're beside yourself. No one's besides themselves.
Beside the point? Is that even right? I think it's besides the
Yes.
point. Yeah, it is beside the point. That's beside the point. And I'm besides myself.
No.
They're both beside.
Yeah.
Anyways. Where were we? Jason.
Just talking about some players. Jason, I don't know. Everybody seems like to be mad at him. I don't know why. He seems
no reason?
I don't know. I don't care.
Elena?
Whatever. She gets along with everybody.
She's
That's
there.
good. Yeah.
Who else?
Alex has done well this week. She's worked her way in with some people. She's made other relationships other than, Josh and Jason and Kevin. So that's good.
Okay. Good for Alex.
So yeah, there's the next temptation is the halting hex, where the person who gets it within the next 4 eviction episodes, they can stop the eviction and say, this isn't happening. So if what's about to go down is not something they want to go down, especially if they're probably going to be voted out, they can be like, hold up, this isn't happening. We start over.
Who gets the halting hex?
We don't know yet. That's the next vote.
What?
Christmas got the ring of replacement. Paul got the pendant of protection.
Oh my God.
Now the next person will get the halting hex. And my guess is that it'll be Kevin or Alex and maybe Josh.
So this is a fan voted thing who gets it?
Yes.
So why don't the fans give it to like Cody or Jessica or something?
Because this is casual people, mostly casuals that vote for this. They have the numbers,
Right,
obviously.
okay.
Like the hardcore BB people will vote their hearts out, but that number is small compared to all the people that vote. So I think it'll be probably Alex or Kevin would be my guess.
And I thought I heard something though that they did a poll and Kevin did worse than other on the poll.
That was a Terrence poll. Like that's not an official poll.
So that's the hardcores. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't think the casuals want to see Cody and Jessica survive the vote?
Trust me, the casuals hate them.
They hate Cody. Okay.
Most people do. There's a small contingent that's like, let's vote Jessica because of the drama, but you're just not, that group of people is never going to overpower the main chunk of people that vote.
Gotcha. So it's probably going to go to Alex then.
That would be my guess, which I think is good because she could do something wonky with it. Because if it gets to like Raven or Elena,
and how long does she have to use this?
4 evictions.
4 evictions?
She only can use it once, but she can use it. She'll have a span of 4 weeks in which to use it.
Does the public or does the house get to know about these advantages?
Only if they decide to tell them.
Okay, so whoever gets this, like Alex could get this halting hex and doesn't have to tell anyone about it.
Yeah, and just blow everybody's socks off on eviction night.
Holy cow, that's pretty sweet.
So I'm hoping that works out well, but the pendant of protection worked about as perfectly as it could work. The ring of replacement, she has all summer to use that. But Christmas is also getting surgery on her foot, so I don't even know if she'll come back.
What does
So
the ring of replacement do?
that gives her the option to replace a veto player. It's like really dumb.
Oh, so it's not that powerful.
Yeah, it's the only way it really works is it can make a backdoor happen. Like this week, if Cody had been picked, Christmas could be like, nope, sit down. I'm playing in your spot, so you can't win.
So he can't win veto.
Yeah.
Veto. Okay. Cool. Makes sense.
Yeah.
We're getting to be a little long.
Yeah.
Do you want to add in some final thoughts?
No, I mean, there's enough podcasts out there that go into everything. I like to just, delve into one topic and discuss with a novice.
Yeah, no,
You're
it's
just kind of my sounding board.
no, it's kind of fun because like I feel like I have a lot of questions. This podcast would almost be good for somebody, yeah, like who wanted to learn more about
Big
how
Brother.
everything, yeah, Big Brother in general, how it all works. Because I feel like that's all the questions I have are like, you just fill me in, Catie. Like, what does this mean? What is really happening? I've been hearing about this, but I don't fully understand it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a good chance for someone who knows a lot about it to express their thoughts, and for me to learn more about something, a show that you really like. So it's fun both ways. Yeah.
It's not a show I really like. It's a show I hate to love.
Yeah. Hate to love, love to hate.
Yeah. Basically.
You're not alone. There's a lot of them out there.
That's the relationship most people have with this show. It's funny how quick people turn on, like the fandom turns on people. Like people are all like over Paul now, but I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't count Paul out at all.
No, I mean, it sounds like he's one of those guys who just understands the game. Well, I don't know. I've been hearing a lot about the flaws in his game.
He doesn't.
He's just one of those guys who plays hard, and you can never count those guys out.
He likes to beat a dead horse, but sometimes you just want to be sure.
Right, that it's dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, that's one of the best quotes I've ever heard, Catie. That's a good one. He likes to beat a dead horse, but sometimes you just got to be sure. That's a good one. I like it.
That's it. Right. That's all I have on Big Brother.
Cool. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. Want to say thanks for listening, and you can follow us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. And be sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Bye.